Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another Overwatch Odyssey League matchup. Tonight, we have got the Loggers coming up against XL2. Definitely a very exciting matchup that I'm anticipating tonight. And commentating with me tonight is going to be Yvonne making her debut. How's it going, Yvonne?
Going well. It's nice to chat again after it's been a little bit since Blanks have been at the Odyssey League, but it's nice to be here. Spring break's coming up for everybody. It's probably big exciting for a whole lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. I know. Sure doesn't feel like spring where I live. We had snow today, so definitely an interesting phenomenon for us to have snow. But I mean, Midwest, right? So what can I say? But with that being said, beyond the unusual weather that I have been experiencing, we are waiting on XL2, their last couple players to show up. So please bear with us as we are waiting for them, and then we will dive right into things. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you for waiting on us as we get everything situated for the teams. So as I said, this is the matchup between Loggers and XL2. Now that we have everyone here, I'm definitely excited for this matchup. Loggers currently with a record of 2-1, suffering their first loss last week against Midnight Muses. So definitely have a little bit of grudge for them to come back and get another win, get them back on track toward the championship. Meanwhile, XL2 having some pretty good performances, but unfortunately still looking for their first win. So a little bit of chip on their shoulder as they're doing that. Definitely excited to see what we do here. So we're going to go ahead and get things started off with Escort at Watchpoint Gibraltar.
I must say, Gibraltar, personal favorite map of mine. I do actually find that there are some awesome major chokeholds and some great places to make some wonderful plays in this map.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there, Yvonne. And we've seen a lot of teams. I mean, a really good vantage point is that high ground right before the cart takes that first turn. And we've seen a lot of teams hold that really well. So I'm excited to see how the teams handle that in this situation here.
To be perfectly honest, I love this map so much because, especially at this first checkpoint, I love watching. I love coming out here with a lot of good mobility characters and just running around and causing some absolute havoc on this field. This is my favorite opening of all places, and for both tanks we see Doomfist and we see Winston. So as I said, a lot of mobility going on for this first checkpoint.
Yeah. Definitely. I was actually, as you were talking about mobility, I was thinking just that to myself. Man, Yvonne hit the nail right on the head there talking about mobility as we see, like you said, Doomfist and Winston. And then coming from XL2, we've got Joe Mama on Genji. Also seeing a lot of mobility coming from the Echo and Kiriko coming from Loggers. So it'll be excited to see how that plays out.
Luxel's also got that Baptiste. Sojourn's got that huge jump. Moira and her ability to warp. There's so much mobility going on this opening. We're gonna have a great time up here. I say up here, I'm like above the map so I can watch all of this happen.
Naillox immediately getting a pick there on Gigglemeister. Lady Ska on PD Pipes, and Suko getting a pick on Joe Mama there. See Joe Mama now making a swap to Widow here. And then swapping immediately back to Soldier here, getting a pretty good hit scan, maybe to counter Naillox. Nylox playing on Echo there.
I must admit, the team on defense is going to try to push pretty hard to keep that cart from going. They have a lot of, as I said, mobility characters trying to keep in and out of a lot of areas, though. I have to admit, they're pushing the cart extremely well, despite the fact that there's a pretty good defensive plan going.
You see Loggers getting 2 picks there, now getting a third against PD Pipes. And then a fourth Tsukuyomi diving in and finishing off Fallen Angel.
I always love seeing a good Doomfist player. It's just incredible to memorize all those button patterns. I could never do it. I'm being serious. I love watching a good Doomfist.
Oh, definitely. And I think the general rule of thumb there with Doomfist is either Doomfist is really good or really bad.
Really bad, and there is no in between. Oh, Echo's already got ult going. I think Sojourn's a really good pick for this area, specifically.
Yeah, Joe Mama and Fallen Angel getting Nagni down, Suko going down as well, Naillox down as well. And that's going to be very close to a team wipe as Lucky Shot is trying to chase down Lady Ska here a little bit. Looks like
we
they're
got
not
past that initial choke. It's very good for
Suko charging in a little bit, having ult as that protection there. And XL2 able to get 2 picks here. Lady Ska getting pipes down here. And the Meteor Strike allowing XL2 to capture the point here. So it'll be interesting. Looks like Tsukuyomi is going to decide to back out of that fight. Nylock's now switching off to Sombra here. And Joe Mama able to get Nylox there. Definitely a solid hold from the Loggers at first, but now XL2 are really starting to show some of their dominance there. Looks like Lady Ska's going to go ahead and pop ult here, but being countered there by Lucky Shot.
Nylox in the back is Sombra trying to get some picks off.
Lady Ska able to get Gilmeister down. Joe Mama and Nylox fighting in the back here. And rush coming out from Loggers. Lucky Shot able to get Lady Ska down there. PD Pipes getting a pick as well, but not before Lady Ska is able to get one for themselves.
They're pushing on this payload as hard as they can right now. Doing a really good job, to be honest.
And Lucky Shot able to get Tsukuyomi down there. Zuko making the swap to Malga here. We'll see how that works out. We have seen with that buff a lot of Malga play coming out, especially against that Winston, and they pay off one pretty well. Pipes going down as well.
Baptiste Immortality field, it might prove a little bit difficult, though it is on cooldown at the moment, so.
That is true. Zuko able to get Gigglmeister there before able to escape. XL2 regrouping here before they make their next push.
Loggers is putting up a really good defense around this corner.
EMP coming out from Nylox here, but going down to Pipes.
But, but that Maga buff, and Nanode Maga, truly has become rather scary as of late.
That is the truth. Fallen Angel able to get Balmalok here. The window coming out from Gigglmeister, helping to assist get Tsukuyomi down. Lucky Shot looking really low there, but getting some support from the team.
Oh, Nalox swapping to Reaper, that didn't work in that exact moment, but I think it's a good swap for...
Yeah, definitely a good swap to counter Winston.
That was a lot at once right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got caught off guard by that.
Yeah, no, it happens. You can get caught up in the thrill of things, and yeah, definitely. I mean, not exactly what I expected in terms of how everything went down. Definitely a lot of great team fights throughout the map, so now I'm excited. Loggers having the opportunity to push the cart for themselves. I'm excited to see how that looks.
That felt, to me, very, very confident in that round. I really liked what I saw. A lot of confident gameplay, a lot of really nice teamwork. As I said, I loved the use of all the mobility characters. I just thought a beautiful round, I must say. Now I can't wait to see I can't wait for the roles to reverse and see what was Yep. Goodness, what happened?
All right. Well, it looks like Gigglemeister maybe had a DC here. So we are going to take just a brief moment and pause for a second while we're doing that. But go ahead and continue there. Yvonne, I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, my sincerest apology. But as I said, I can't wait for roles to swap and for the other team to truly get their time to shine with this map. This cold. But to speak of the last round, I thought that both teams definitely felt confident in everything that they were doing, of course, but gosh, so much is happening.
No, you're fine. You're fine. There's between the DC and everything else, definitely a lot to maybe get overwhelmed by as there's just so much going on here. But anyway, so it looks like from what I'm understanding, Gigglemeister is having a little bit of connectivity issues. Got DC'd from the game, but was not DC'd immediately from Discord. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. The rules have been a little bit flexible as far as the DCs, but definitely something where we're going to have to take a little bit further or a deeper look at in the future, as we had a little bit of issues, and by a little bit, we had a lot of issues last matchup, but there were some storms going on across the country, so that was maybe affecting it a little bit. So hopefully we're not going to have any issues like that tonight here.
Well, I hope not, but unfortunately it does happen to the best of us. As I said, as you were saying earlier this stream, the weather has been absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But it looks like Gigglemeister is back in. Just confirming that both teams are ready before we go ahead and start the map back up here. Looks like they're still getting everything situated. So Yvonne, what's your favorite game mode here as we're going through this downtime?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Everyone else hates them. I love Flashpoint maps. I know that's like, oh, they last forever.
Whoa, no way.
No, they're my favorite out of every single type of map in the game. When they introduced Flashpoint, I was all for that. I was like, yes, just continuous. You never get a catch break. It's the adrenaline goes the entire freaking time. It never ends, and I don't care that they last for 20 minutes. All of my friends are like, no, I want this game mode to end. I want it to end. I want it to end. I'm like, no, keep going. I'm here for a 20-minute match. Let me have a 20-minute match. When it comes to like payload and stuff like that, the where there's that break in between, while it feels nice to get that 1 second breather, I actually just love the sheer relentlessness of Flashpoint maps. Push is also my favorite because of that, because it never really ends. It's not over until it's truly over, and it just keeps your adrenaline going the whole time. And I mean, yeah, of course it's frustrating, but that's part of the joy of it, because realistically, you're not gonna get that in between match break. It's gonna keep going.
Sure. Well, everyone is entitled to their opinion, so I cannot.
I lost a lot of friends saying that out loud, didn't I?
Although I disagree with what you said, I can't say you're wrong by any means. So the Overwatch Odyssey League does not endorse Yvonne's opinions. No. You see Tsukuyomi there diving in, trying to get that high ground away from XL2. able to get a pick with Nilox against Gigglemeister, and Lucky Shot does go down as well. Pipe's going down, Fallen Angel still at full health, but trying to evade getting eliminated here. And going down as well. A swift strike coming from Loggers.
Nilox is very swift and relentless when going from one attack to the next. Is very versatile and quick to engage into the next target.
And Nilox able to get a pick against Pipes there. Suko getting a pick on Gigglemeister. Suko getting another one there on Fallen Angel. Lucky Shot in backline.
Suko is proving my earlier point where I say you don't want to be caught alone with a Doomfist. It's very, very scary.
That is the truth. And Suko applying a lot of pressure up there against the backline, allowing Nagni just to push the point there.
I was very much about to comment that when for a hot second, it was Doomfist with Echo with Lucio. It was just very potent, very, very scary. It must have been.
There's just so much going on right now. I'm having a hard time keeping up with
everything.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself here, where do I even start? Caught myself lacking a little bit in the commentary, and as I'm trying to pick things up, I'm thinking, well, where do I even start at this point? You see Nilox now chasing down Pipes here, and Pipes does go down. Maybe a little bit of a tactical respawn there. Suko now getting really low. Joe Obama able to get Tsukuyomi down, but going down to Nilox there. XL2 struggling. Yeah, XL2 struggling.
As I was saying in the last map, when I was talking about very confident teams when it comes to push, I think both teams, when they got their opportunity to push their payload, have been incredibly confident in their ability to push this payload. I think both teams have been doing absolutely wonderful when they get on offense.
Bamlock getting a pick there on Pipes here. Lucky Shot going up. Looking pretty low on HP. Beat being dropped there for Loggers. And Rush also coming out here for Loggers.
A very tight chokehold right here. It's always always a very hectic moment at this tail end of this map.
Giggle not quite able to escape there from Lady Ska. Lady Ska now able to get 3 here in this fight. And looks like both teams are going to be able to complete the map. Now Loggers doing so and having an almost 4-minute, so quite a bit of a resounding lead, one would say, in terms of these extra rounds that are going to be played. So it'll be interesting to see if compositions will change at all for the teams as they're going into this, especially XL2 now knowing that they only have 1:15 to push the payload as far as they can. They have been playing dive, which is obviously a very quick team comp, and it took them a little bit to get around that first corner and to really push Loggers out of that high ground. So I'll be definitely excited to see what they can do to maybe combat that a little bit. I see Joe Mama here having selected Widow for XL2. It'll be interesting to see if that's just going to be a take a peek type thing, or if Joe Mama's hoping to get some picks. I'd be excited either way. Just as it's fun to watch a good Doomfist player, I think it's really fun to watch a really good Widow player, and I'm hoping to see just that out of Joe Mama here. Meanwhile, you do see Loggers are going to be changing up their composition a little bit, try and really hold down payload here.
You know, this is one of my other favorite things to happen on Gibraltar is when both teams pick Ram as their tank, because this is a good map for him both ways. Because this is just a really good character to pick where you can stay on that payload. You can be very, very offensive and defensive at the same time.
Definitely. And you see Loggers able to get 3 picks right away. Now down to only 50 seconds for XL2 to push the payload. See Nilox now playing the Mei, hoping to maybe get some walls and separate some members of XL2 from one another. You see them going into this room here, try and get this flank.
Alright. Getting a big push from XL2 here.
Tsukuyomi and Lady Ska getting 2.
Sure that Mei wall was in the perfect.
Lady Ska getting 2 there, getting Angel and Lucky Shot there. Pipes now pushing as hard and as far as they can. And Joe Mama not able to make it to the payload before overtime expires. So Loggers are in a really good position. They have almost 4 minutes, and they don't even have to push it to the first checkpoint. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to try and take their time or if they're just going to go ahead and go for it, full send, and just get it over with quick and easy. I really liked that play coming from Loggers there off to the side in that side room. You saw, especially we were spectating, or I was spectating Joe Mama's POV, everyone kind of looking up for that high ground for the Loggers, but they were playing down low and right next to the payload, and I think that threw XL2 off a little bit.
And I kind of liked how all the players did their best to stay crouched, stay hidden, make sure that no one has, even if they knew the characters, no one had an exact positioning on them, which I think was a really good tactical move, was to make sure that no one knows exactly where you are on the field. Just to give that little last bit of surprise.
Yeah, I think that surprise really threw XL2 off. And it's interesting to see. Looks like XL2 is going to be trying a very similar strategy.
Very similar strategy, which I applaud. If it, you know what, if it works, if the shoe in fact fits.
That, yeah. They're just waiting here.
Does have a little bit of wiggle room to keep the payload in its place, and this is a very nice opening chokehold.
But you see,
I was expecting. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Loggers already getting 3 picks, whereas XL2 only getting 1, now 4. So it's gonna be up to Joe Mama to try and hold the payload as best as they can. But it looks like Loggers know exactly where Joe Mama is at. XL2 backing up, but they really have to be pushing forward here.
It's a very interesting swap to ball. I applaud this idea. always keeping your opponent on your toes. With the mix of Mei actually would be is very powerful. Goodness gravy, with the Ramatra ult at the tail end of that, incredible.
And a play there coming from Lady Ska with an assisted 3K. Definitely seeing some really good things coming from Lady Ska in that matchup. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. Now looking here before we get into the second game, we do see sitting on the sidelines, having joined a little bit late, we've got Bonobo Lover, who played for XL2, doing a phenomenal job, especially playing Ashe when they had their matchup against J Dynasty. So I'm excited to see what that brings for XL2 in this next game here.
Well,
So,
I would dare. Ooh, I'm sorry. I cut you
no,
off.
you're fine. We started at the same time. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that I do believe that was an incredible opening match for both teams. Both showed incredible strengths and a few, defined weaknesses. But I feel like we're having a very even matchup this evening. I feel that both teams have. I mean, the night is very much still young. They have quite a few more games to go through, but I definitely see a very exciting night ahead of us.
Yeah, and things can only go up from here. Like I said, Bonobo, who is starting for XL2 last week, having missed that first map, it'll be interesting to see how that changes things in the overall scheme of this 5-map match here between Loggers and XL2.
Right, I already know I'm not winning anybody's favorites, saying that Flashpoint is my absolute favorite um map type, but seeing how Control is the Flashpoint, obviously it was before Flashpoint even existed. Um, Antarctic Peninsula, once again, is a great map. I'm not gonna say it's as much mobility-wise as Watchpoint Gibraltar, but you can definitely have quite a bit of fun with quite a few really interesting characters in this map.
Certainly. Yeah, and of the Control maps here that we're facing, I know you're feeling a certain way about Antarctic Peninsula. I gotta say, I hate this map with every bit of my
Really?
being. It's just not my favorite. Maybe that's because it's new and I just haven't gotten used to it. But I think I would much rather play any other Control map. Yes, even Ilios with the well, over playing Antarctic Peninsula.
Helios with the well. Absolutely love that map. What was that brand new Control map that just came out with? It was around the
Samoa?
time Maga came out.
Samoa.
Yeah, that's not my favorite map.
It's all right. I feel like a lot of the concepts for that map are very similar to other maps. One being, I'm going to forget it again. I did this with another match where I was trying to compare it to something, but I can't remember what that map name is. But I think there are definitely some very similar concepts coming from other maps. Granted, it's Control, so the base...
Was it an Overwatch 1 map, or is it a map still in use?
That is a good question that I don't know the answer to. I mean, it's still in use. It's still in use.
Okay.
But I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, well, not important.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. So you see coming from Loggers, Nilox playing Mei, Nagni on Kiriko, Tsukuyomi playing Mauga again, Balmalak playing Lucio, and Lady Ska again on Sojourn. Lady Ska playing a heck of a Sojourn, so I'm excited to see that. Meanwhile, you've got Joe Mama there playing Mei, Lucio, Bap. We've got a Ram, and then Tracer here.
Their ears must have been burning because XL2. I brought up the mobility thing, and then XL2 is like, "Now we're really gonna hammer that home." Bap and Sojourn and Lucio. I was like, "Okay, awesome."
You see a lot of disinterest coming from the chat here, saying that all the maps since Overwatch 2 were bad. So it'll be interesting. You see XL2 now getting to the both teams getting to opposite sides of points, attempting to fight on kind of a high ground. XL2 going to be cornered a little bit on this edge here. And it looks like with XL2 right there, Loggers are going to go ahead and take the point, but Joe Mama getting a pick there on Nilox. And beat already dropped there for XL2. Bonobo getting a pick on Lady Ska here. And cage fight being used here by Suko. Beat drop being used.
That was an impressive turnaround right there, I must say.
And XL2 able to get the point back. Like Yvonne was saying, quite the turnaround there. Several ults used on both sides, but it looks like XL2 sitting on, coming up on 3 here. So being able to use those here in this next team fight can be vital. Lucky Shot playing a little bit of an off angle here as Loggers are pushing in, getting a lot of damage there in Tsukuyomi, but not able to capitalize on that.
You know, you were saying earlier that this back corner right here might not be the perfect place for XL2, but I actually think they've been doing a great job taking advantage of it, going back into the corner and staying grouped to consolidate their firepower and their healing, and then doing a great push all as one. Actually, had turned out in their favor. Not in this instance, unfortunately, but I actually think it was actually turning out in their favor when they were using it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I have to admit, I thought it was a very questionable position on their end, but they were able to maximize the potential of that small amount of high ground there and rounding those corners. And Lucky Shot using ult here while really low going down.
Nilox did a great job on staying alive and sticking with their team in that moment as May. I think that was really impressive.
And there's a 3v4 here. XL2 without their tank, but so far not a big hindrance to them as they're pushing in. XL2 able to get 2 here as the rest of Loggers come back from spawn. Now just Baumalak there fighting on point. And XL2...
Once again, a nice turnaround for XL.
Yeah, and they are sitting on 3 ults here. Meanwhile, Loggers are coming up on 4, and they only need 4% to finish off this portion of Antarctic Peninsula, or this first round here on Control. So really, they just need to use those wisely, and this team fight can be theirs. Now getting close to having all 5 ults. So many ults happening right now.
So many ults at once. Though I'm gonna say I think both Lucio ults were definitely coming in big right there.
And Bono able to get 2 there. Nilox doing everything in their power there to get to point. And XL2 are able to come away with it.
It's an amazing round. I think I was actually really impressed by, as I said, the way that XL was able to consolidate and then push. That made me actually think of like ever seen like a siege battle in an MMO. I was like, oh goodness, I know exactly where this tactic is going. I was like, I love seeing it in first-person shooters like this because it's so rarely seen. I love seeing just a nice consolidation to a big push like that because it's always it's rather rare in games like these, but it's, you know, due to that it's unexpected. But I was just so happy when I saw that.
Yeah. And the question has to be asked, at least the question in my mind here, is did Loggers wait too long before really getting in there and using their ults? Did that allow XL2 to build some more of theirs and to get to those as that last team fight was progressing?
Loggers does not want to allow
Gigameister able to get
XL anywhere near
Nilox.
that point.
Teams trading their Mei. Gigameister now going down as well. And Fallen Angel is just Lucky Shot there fighting without his team. And Lucky Shot going down as well. Loggers are able to get the point first. XL2 regrouping here on this, what would be their left side, Loggers' right side here before pushing in. And Bonobo really isolated there after that wall coming from Nilox there. Joe Mama really pushing here, trying to get Baumalok. And Baumalok does go down here. Tsukuyomi using ult here. Beat being used to counter. And now counter beat coming here from Loggers.
I'm not talking. I'm just so caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is a very, very incredible gameplay from both teams. I'm loving. I mean, I'm just gonna say I can't get enough of XL2's the way that they're just. I try not to use my MMO terms. I'd call it ball grouping right now, for the way that their leading is because it's very, very obviously working on these control maps. And I'm always loving these amazing turnarounds that XL's doing. I'm loving, as I said, the confidence and just the sheer power of the pushing that Loggers has been able to do consistently all night so far. I just love seeing it. And we are training Mei ultimates. Very, very scary moments.
Now wall coming out for XL2. Suko able to get two. Baumalok assisting with a third there. Now using ult.
Was that a 4 right there? Goodness gravy.
Tsukuyomi assisted by the rest of the Loggers team, able to get a team kill with that rush and annihilation coming from Tsukuyomi. Incredible combo coming from Loggers, now only having a little bit, getting close to 15% there. And XL2 going down low, almost able to take the objective. Bono able to get two. Gigameister getting Nilox. Tsukuyomi going down to Joe Mama. And that is going to be a team kill for XL2. What's even better about that team fight there, Fallen Angel didn't have to use beat. That was a very swift take.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be come in handy for the fight coming up. And I love how they immediately went back up to high ground to make sure that they could play for every advantage that they could.
Tsukuyomi rushing in there. Both beats being used here.
Oh, both beats. Okay.
But not before. Looks like now getting 3 picks. Nilox really pushing in there. Loggers able to get the point back here. Fallen Angel looking really low. Fallen Angel able to get Nylox, but not before getting taken down there. And that is going to be round 2 going to Loggers.
Score 1-1. Ready for battle.
Once again, I'm loving these just end of the map, just these turnarounds that are and it just the sheer power of the pushes that we're getting from these players.
Because I don't see any freedom in indoctrination.
I'm not gonna lie, again, not winning any favors tonight. This is not my favorite of the 3 maps on Antarctic Peninsula, is this particular one right here. Like, I like it, but this is not my favorite of the 3 of them.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't like any of the 3, so that's, I mean, getting closer, getting warmer there, Yvonne. But you see a little bit of a conversation here going on in chat, talking about 6v6 as we're getting in this team fight, being dubbed Drawskaya Industries. I like that. I've honestly never heard that before, so that was good.
I never got to see 6v6. I actually started playing this game, I was convinced by Swag and another friend of mine. When Lifeweaver dropped, that was when I started playing this game. And I got immediately hooked. But yeah, I never got to know 6v6. I'm honestly kind of sad that there's not like a like an arcade mode almost that would allow it, just so like newer players could experience what the older ones could.
I gotta say, while we were talking about that, not that I want to discredit any of that, because definitely glad to have you join the Overwatch community in Overwatch 2. But while that was happening, I gotta say, Joe Mama put in a lot of work ultimately for XL2 to lose that team fight. That was kind of crazy to me.
This map is really difficult because I feel like you can't over push this like ring area that you're in, because if you overextend, you're gonna get picked off kind of quickly in the glacier areas. This is just a very difficult area to get stuck in, as we see with Gigomeister just kind of got stuck in that corner and couldn't really go anywhere from it. It was just a little bit of a difficult map to work with.
That's true, and I could definitely credit some of that to the map, but I also have to say a lot of really great play coming from Loggers right now. A little bit of some cheeky strategies, but also just doing some really great stuff. I mean, Nylox and Tsukuyomi really doing some good work. Beat dropped just a smidge late to save Tsukuyomi.
For the Loggers, lucky shot did go down, so both teams were without their tank in that moment. So, even out the playing fields a little bit.
See, Loggers now backing up, but they already have 80%, so giving up a little bit of percentage to regroup might not be a bad thing. Ult now coming here from XL2. And that is going to be a team wipe from XL2. Great utilization of Joe Mama's ult there. Great play coming from XL2. Sorry, I just got the hiccups out of nowhere. I apologize about that.
As I said, I'm shaking off a cold. No one's perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there, where I'm saying it's really difficult to push out ahead, because then you're immediately drawn right back to that point, and it just makes the difficulty. That being said, both teams have been doing proving me wrong repeatedly by pushing out incredibly every single time I say it, and it's like, oh, they're pushing out again, and they're doing an amazing job holding the fact that they pushed out. So I guess I don't really have much of a leg to stand on. And I love it. I love being proved wrong in this way. I love it when I say something like that and then I'm immediately proved wrong by just how incredible and how wonderfully the players can work together in individual moments.
Yeah. Early beat drop from XL2. Wondering if either it was a misclick or Loggers were just able to decide, oh, we don't want to push on this. Now rush coming in from Nagani here. Now ult coming from Lady Ska here. And now Blizzard coming from Nilox here. With the combination of ults there, Lady Skog getting a couple picks there, Nagani with a pick, Balmalak has a pick. That was a full Loggers team effort to get that team kill. Now only having 5%. Will XL2 be able to touch here?
I don't think so. I'm sorry to say, yeah. That final round was just incredible. I again, I just time and time again, I feel like not
let's
only was
watch
I
this play real quick.
wrong.
And there was that rush annihilation I was talking about. Great job from the Loggers maximizing those two ults there. Definitely some really great stuff. But I didn't want to cut you off. Yvonne, I apologize. What was it that you were getting at there for that last comment you were making?
I was just gonna say, I don't know, what was I trying to say? I don't remember. I got cut off. I got cut off because I immediately was about to make a comment on the play of the game. Because first off, I love a good Ram ult. I guess I'll just go back to what I was talking about right before the game ended. I just love watching just the sheer, like, I don't know,
Force.
I'm just blown away by how amazing these teams have been so far tonight.
Yeah, and definitely some very close matchups. A lot of really good team fights, like you were saying, coming from both teams. I can't be disappointed in anything I've seen so far, and at this point, I can say still, Loggers being up 2-0, I wouldn't count XL2 out for anything as we're getting into these last three maps. So I'm excited.
Absolutely not.
Excited to see what's going on there. Alrighty. So it looks like our next map is going to be New Junk City for a Flashpoint game mode. So as we're finishing up the stream stuff and as we're confirming with the teams that they are ready, I guess Yvonne, I know you like Flashpoint. We've only got, I believe, the two maps there between New Junk City and Servasa. Which one do you like playing on more?
I gotta admit, it's gotta be New Junk City. I love this map so much. This is like, Flashpoint is like my favorite map type in the game. I feel like New Junk City is up there with like my top 3 favorite maps in the entire game. I love this map. So much can happen. So much of it can be hectic. And I love how there even is quite a bit of hazards when it comes to just the way that the flashpoints are laid out. There's a few areas where you can get thrown off the map. There's a few areas where you can get thrown underneath the point. You can't recover it as quickly. I just love this map so much. So much can happen in such little time, and it just never ends. It's always all right. Here's the next moment.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely a lot of action coming from a Flashpoint. Yet again, I'm sticking with it. Yeah, definitely not my favorite, but that's all right. Looks like we're having some clarification there on the rules. So it is best of 5 to determine who the winner is for the match, but all 5 maps are to be played for point accumulation, which will lead things into the postseason tournament. So it will be best of 5 to determine the win, but it will be all 5 maps to be played. Looks like both teams are ready, so we're going to be going into, again, New Junk City for a Flashpoint game mode. Seen a lot of really good things coming from Balmalak there as Lucio. One of my things with Flashpoint, moving from point to point, but also making sure your team gets there as the points go a lot faster than in Control, obviously. I think Lucio is going to be a huge make or break for these teams, and I think that Balmalak is doing an excellent job, but that's not to discredit Fallen Angel for their Lucio play, but definitely needing to step up here from XL2 in order to make sure that this match doesn't end early for them.
Yeah, I'm always really excited to see what the what every single player will pick for their characters, because you can do so much with this map. And Loggers is doing something that I really like seeing, where we just have a lot of mixed mobility with the Sombra and the Lucio and the Sojourn, but also we have Ram and Kiri to really back up everything that's happening. And Ram really, I'm a Ram main. Every time I see him, I'm so happy. I think he actually shines a lot in this map because he's just so in your face the entire game. This also can be situationally really good for characters like Junker Queen, Reinhardt. I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't get enough of this map.
Tsukuyomi diving in really deep here, but able to avoid getting eliminated, assisted by Nilox, and then Baumlock also getting a pick on Joe Mama. Fallen Angel looking really low. Suka can go ahead and push and finish off this Elim here. And Baumlock not allowing Bonobo Lover to escape after having tried to get that point captured there. I like this angle that Loggers are taking here. Still playing kind of that main point, but maybe a little bit lower to allow themselves some cover here.
Actually, I kind of really like what Bonobo Lover's trying to do with the two Sombra matchups to try to get onto that point a little sneaky like. Oh, it's working! Yay! I love seeing this.
Yeah, getting 2 picks there. Now Tsukuyomi looking really low here.
Lucky Shot's coming in to support. Bonobo Lover's still up. I love seeing this. Yes, yes, I love this. This is why I think Sombra's an amazing character. I'm not good at her at all, but I love seeing Sombra just shine like that. It's and just capturing. I mean, obviously it wasn't singularly done by Sombra, but it's just I just love the ability to just undetectively flank and really assist in taking that point, because you know you get that ping at the top of your screen. Hey, your point's being contested. And you're like, wait, everyone's up here, so who's down there? So it really does shake up the opposing team very quickly.
And Suko and Baumlock combining to get a quick 2 Elims. Lucky Shot now looking really low as well. Rush being used here from both teams. Annihilation being used by Tsukuyomi here.
And Suko is aiming to clean house.
And Gigglemeister really holding down there, making sure to get that extra percentage there. But Logger's able to get the point back. An excellent EMP coming from both sides.
Once again, XL2 with just an incredible, just last second, just sheer turnaround of just being able to hold that point. The fact that it's been consistent is truly incredible, because like it's almost unexpected, but you almost at this point kind of know, oh, they might be going for it again. And I just love the way that they can just grab that point at the last second. It's incredible.
Now the trick is just to be able to finish things out in terms of these team fights and in terms of the maps. Being down 2-0 overall. And another good take coming from Loggers here. See Bonobo Lover now switching off onto Reaper here.
I always love when teams try to take that really indirect route to always get to the point. When they take like high ground and just very different ways of getting into certain areas.
Yeah, and beat being used here to keep Tsukuyomi up here. And now another ult coming from the Loggers. Nyloc's able to get Bonobo, able to get Fallen Angel with ult.
Goodness great, and yeah, that's Flashpoint. All right, next point. There it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You do not get a break. You gotta keep that energy going.
I mean, Loggers, heck of a job with that team fight. I got to be honest, things were looking maybe a little bit grim for them, but they were able to pull it out with the assistance of the beat coming from Balmalok there. Nyloc's able to use ult, doing some really good things. So I can't complain about what we just saw there.
Alright, this is a personal favorite point actually on this Flashpoint map. Just because you can do so much, because of how open this area is, you can do so much with this Flashpoint specifically. And I really like what the Loggers are trying to do. They're to try to isolate and surround a lot of players. The lucky shot is well, for the moment was holding his own on point.
Yeah.
And got 18% by himself. That was really impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of fun sometimes when the whole team is distracted. You're able to cap point by yourself. At the end of the day, though, if it weren't for that Lucio boost, the team would have been staggered quite a bit there, having their tank back and spawn for so long.
A lot of ult's going on right now. Goodness. That was 2 for Loggers and 1 or 2 for XL.
Yeah, I don't think XL2 got anyone, did they? Oh no, they did get one.
Ult usage. Sorry, I was not being specific. That was my bad.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I stand corrected in my own statement there. And Joe Mama using ult there, maybe to try and counter that push there, but maybe a questionable decision there. Loggers is just one capture away from winning this map and winning this match officially.
That being said, I'm not gonna count XL out just yet. I love seeing when they group up and they push together. It's always been really effective all night. Torbjorn making that just a little bit difficult, I will admit, but I still think that in just about any other moment, it's going to be very effective as they all push as one, as I'm hoping they're doing right now. Because it's been working rather consistently all night.
Tsukuyomi able to get 2. I was just watching that Lucio play coming from Baumalak there, really putting a lot, and I mean a lot of pressure on XL2's backline. Definitely something for teams in future matchups against Loggers. If Baumalak's making an appearance, you better be expected to get pestered continuously by Baumalak and Lucio here.
Lucio, I mean, he's such a slippery character. He can just move in and out. I mean, other than I think Sombra hacking him to get him off the walls, there's not much you can do just to get rid of him.
And Baumalak getting 2 for themselves here. Loggers able to get the rest of the team for a team kill. Just 20% remaining. I love these strategies that Loggers have.
I feel Baumalak excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Baumalak really deserved that play of the game. That end of the map was just an incredible all around play.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Exceptional stuff coming from Baumalak and the rest of the team. Definitely huge effort coming from the Loggers. And I gotta be honest, I really love seeing some of their strategies to kind of find an off angle that the other team may not expect you to be coming from, and then just pushing full force in with that Lucio speed boost, really maximizing the potential there to get, I mean, effectively a team kill. But with that being said, so as we were explaining a little bit earlier before we dove into that last map, so XL2 has officially lost the map, so Loggers have won with that 3-0, but we will still be playing the last 2 maps. If XL2 can get those 2 maps for a victory, then they would get those points for accumulation, which would take into account for any tiebreakers that may occur when looking at seeding for the postseason. So with that being said, we are going to be taking a look here. So we're going to be doing a little something different here. We are going to have Nagni in here, but also Baumalak will be participating as well to try and do any translation that may be necessary. So we are going to get ready to pull them in. We're just going to confirm that they are ready. Alrighty, we will be pulling them in.
Moi aussi.
Hey, we pulled you in. Sorry if we were interrupting any strategy or anything.
It's on.
Okay, don't worry.
How are you guys doing?
Great, actually.
Good.
Ouais, ça va bien.
Fait que, tu veux-tu que je te traduise ce qu'ils disent?
Ben non, je comprends bien l'anglais, là. Je suis pas capable de le parler.
So she said she's doing good, and she understands what you say, but she's not good at speaking.
Speaking
English.
back. Awesome. Okay.
Yep.
That is okay. So I'm glad to have you both here. All I can say so far as we've done these first 3 maps is an exceptional job all around coming from the Loggers. I've seen a lot of really good things, and I have to say, and forgive me if is it Nagni? Is
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay. So I have to say, your alt combinations with Tsukuyomi are absolutely phenomenal. The communication that you guys have is pretty good. Would you say, in terms of communication. I think we talked a while ago about maybe just like making sure all of that is tight and well spoken. Do you guys feel like your communication is really strong as a team?
Ben, notre communication est quand même correcte en tant que team. On a une très bonne communication. Ça s'est développé avec le temps, par contre. Ça n'a pas toujours été le cas. Puis on a aussi l'avantage que ça fait longtemps qu'on joue ensemble. Fait qu'on on dirait qu'on se comprend aussi des fois sans vraiment dire grand-chose. Surtout moi pis Tsu, là. Tu peux traduire
so
sur le panneau.
So basically, she said that we have overall a very good communication, and we have the advantage of playing for a long time together, so we understand what we do without even seeing things sometimes, especially Tsuku and
Yeah, yeah. I think you guys do great there. I gotta ask though, and I've made several comments on this throughout the stream. You guys play a lot of I'll call them cheeky off angles, and really able to capitalize on that with a combination of either using Kitsune Rush or using that Lucio speed boost. Do you guys practice that as you guys go throughout, or is it just kind of like one of those things where, hey, here's an off angle we can take, maybe we can catch them off guard?
Ben, on choisit un peu des points où ce qu'on pourrait surprendre les gens. Puis à partir de là, on bâtit un peu ce qu'on va faire. Fait que c'est pas des choses qu'on a beaucoup pratiquées, mais oui, c'est des choses qu'on fait souvent, là. Prendre des petits angles puis partir d'un coin complètement random, là.
So she said that it's not something that is practiced a lot, but they do that a lot of times. Just choose a corner and decide what they are gonna do about this corner at that precise moment, but not really practice that much.
Sure, sure. And then I guess my last question for you, maybe a little bit of a two-parter. How do you feel like your team comps have been working? I see you guys have done kind of a mix of like a dive and a brawl. How do you guys feel about that?
Ben, je pense que c'est un peu nos pics de confort. Souvent, c'est ça qu'on prend. On aime ça, prendre des choses qu'on est plus confortable. Fait que peut-être que oui, ça fait des mélanges un peu étranges. Mais ça marche pour nous, pour le moment. Fait qu'on continue comme ça.
She said that it's mostly playing our comfort picks, and that it's working right now. So even if it's weird comps, why would we switch things that works? You know?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I go back to the old expression: if it's not if it's not broke, no need to fix it.
Exactly.
So definitely something cool that you guys have been doing. And I guess they are two separate questions. So I apologize for lying to you earlier. But what things do you see in the other teams' comps that maybe you have adjusted around, or not necessarily adjusted, but you guys take into account as you're making some picks?
Ben, on fait quand même attention au fait que, comme dans la dernière game, ils ont joué son bras. Ben, on a comme essayé de jouer en conséquence qu'ils jouaient son bras. C'est sûr qu'on fait quand même attention, mais c'est ça, là.
She said that we're trying to play against what they are doing. So last game they played a Sombra, so we played around that, and we tried to counter her most as we could without like committing too much on her, just being more stacked together to like not let her do what she wants.
Yeah. Sombra can be very difficult to play if the whole team is grouped up, and I think you guys play well together. I know that we have seen some off angles coming from a Tracer or a Sombra. I believe that was Nilox that was playing that, but for the most part, you guys have been doing an exceptional job at doing that. But those are all my questions. Yvonne, do you have anything?
Okay, there we go. I actually do. I was saying, especially in the first map, I was commenting on how confident you guys feel, and I just wanted to hear it from you guys straight. It's like, do you guys feel like you guys are confident in these maps?
Ben honnêtement, sur Gibraltar, c'est habituellement vraiment pas notre map, là. Fait que ça s'est super bien passé comparé à d'habitude. Mais oui, c'est des maps qu'on aime quand même jouer, qu'on peut faire une belle grosse rush dessus, là.
She said that Gibraltar is one of our worst map, but for some reason it worked very well this time, and she's happy that it worked. But overall, the other maps are maps that we can play rush and have fun and just press the button very hard.
Okay, I don't believe you because that Gibraltar run was absolutely spectacular, and I won't hear you guys say otherwise. That was incredible. But I mean, you kind of touched on it. I just also wanted to say I was trying to make sure I asked these questions when I was on my team. I wanted to make sure everybody was experiencing this. Are you guys having fun? Like, are you guys genuinely enjoying your time playing tonight?
Oui, oui, on a vraiment beaucoup de plaisir.
Yes, definitely having a lot of fun, and I'm saying that on my part too. I'm having a lot of fun too, not just now.
Ouais.
I always feel like that's the most important part is at the end of the day, I honestly do feel like we should be enjoying our time playing this because in the end it is in fact Overwatch. I do believe that we should be having a great time.
Yeah,
No.
it's a game. We
Ouais,
should
c'est
all
ça.
have fun.
Yeah.
T'sais, on est là pour gagner, mais on veut avoir du fun avant tout, là.
We're there to win, but we want to have fun for all for everything else.
Yeah. I think that competitive nature while still maintaining the fun is very important. So I think you guys are or hitting the nail right on the head for that. But I think that's all the questions we have, but I will break the unfortunate news to you guys now, and you can relay the team. So XL2 has a member of their team who is sick, unfortunately. And so I guess they don't have a sub, and so they're going to be unable to finish the rest of the match. So with that, congratulations on the win with the 3-0, but then you guys will get the additional 2 points, so it'll become an official 5-0. So congratulations to you guys. Phenomenal job playing so far, and I'm excited to see what you guys have next week.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne
Thank
soirée.
you a lot.
Yep.
And
Bye.
Yep.
goodbye.
Alrighty. Well, with that news that we broke mid-interview there, or I guess towards the end of the interview, so XL2 is not able to finish the rest of the map, unfortunately. Although the score, and I feel like I say this to myself several weeks, although the score may not show it per se, I think this was a very close matchup, and I was definitely excited to see every single second of this match. And I think it was enjoyable for everyone to watch as well, or at least it was enjoyable for me to watch, so I can only hope that for you guys, for all of you who are watching as well. So before we go away, I would like to say we do have more Overwatch Odyssey League action coming up. We have got the next matchup is going to be on the 20th, so that's going to be this Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST, and that will be between VTG Orion and Cumberland Valley. Both teams looking for their first win, but definitely a good match to be looking forward to. I think the teams are both eager to really get their name here down in the books of the Overwatch Odyssey League, and I'm excited to be there for that. Overall, I'm excited to see what the Loggers do. Their next matchup will not be until April 1st, but they will be coming up against a very tough Jade Dynasty. Meanwhile, XL2 will also be facing an equally tough competitor, Kaiju Core MX. So we'll be excited for those upcoming matchups. But until then, we appreciate all of you being here, and we look forward to those next matches. Before we go, on your screen here shortly will be our social media page links. We are still growing as a community, and I don't want to take anything away from the current season, but as we're looking into our future, we're hoping to grow even more. So we want to include all of you to be a part of our community here. So if you could go to those pages, give us a follow, give us some likes on our posts, we would really appreciate that. And to all the viewers here, we appreciate you being here. Yvonne, thank you for filling in so I didn't have to fly solo. Really appreciate you. And, of course, big shout-out to both teams. So thank you for all that.
Yeah, that was a wonderful night there.
Yeah, lots of good action, good conversation, and I was definitely excited for that interview with Nagini and Balmalok. Definitely something that we won't have every week, but the experience was definitely something I can't say I would have been fulfilled without. So thank you again to Nagini and Balmalok for being here. And until then, we will see you. Again, that'll be the 20th at 8 p.m. EST for VTG Orion and Cumberland Valley. Everyone, I hope you have a good night.